What is up, beautiful people? I'm coming at you with a video about Slovenes and how are they. I'm going to talk about the kindness. I'm going to talk about how they love their culture. I'm going to talk about the food. I'm going to talk about the nature and a few other things as well. So stay tuned. This is all about Slovenians and my experience in the first 3 months. All right, I'm coming at you with a video from my hometown, Macon, Georgia. In this video, I'm gonna break down everything I know and have observed about Slovenes. So, to begin, Slovenes love Slovenia. Almost everyone I've talked to about living in Slovenia and their experience has absolutely loved Slovenia. In my last video, recapping my first month's experience, as you can see here by this thumbnail, it had a ton of views and a ton of comments. And most of the comments were welcoming to Slovenia, and just so many other positive things about the things I had to say in my experience through the first month. But I wanted to... Hey, just want to pop in real quick. Please hit the like button below, subscribe, turn on notification bell, and tune in every Sunday for a new video. Thanks, see ya. Go even deeper than my last video. My last video, I kind of just talked about a few of the things I observed and a few differences, such as the public transportation, the religious experience, and just kind of the pace of life. But this video, I want to talk about specifically the thoughts of Slovenian people from what I've experienced. So, to begin, most Slovenes that I've spoke to really love Slovenia. They actually really care for the country and they couldn't imagine living anywhere else. A lot of people, from my understanding, will move to neighboring countries such as Germany, Austria, Italy, countries just right around Slovenia in order to earn a higher wage. From my understanding, they can go there and find a much higher paying salary. And for this reason, that's why Slovenes will move, but they will only stay in those countries for 5 years, 6 years, somewhere in that range. And then they'll come back to Slovenia to really settle down and spend the rest of their lives. So Slovenians love Slovenia. Slovenians love Slovenian culture. I have made two pretty big mistakes since I moved to Slovenia. They both were about my videos. The first video I made a mistake on was this one right here. In this video, it was a Saturday, so I basically walked around and I had a few foods that I would normally have on a Saturday. I didn't disclose though in the video that I was basically just sharing like a day of eating with myself in Slovenia. I should have disclosed that it was all new to me, so everything to me felt Slovenian. Clearly, I don't think that pizza comes from Slovenia originally, but I did a pretty poor job of explaining beforehand that I was just trying a bunch of foods for the day. It wasn't necessarily Slovenian food. It was just my experience in Slovenia. To say that though, Slovenians are very protective of their culture. Since then, I have released a video talking about the traditional Slovenian food. If you haven't seen it, it looks like this. Here's the thumbnail, so you can find it after this video. But I tried a lot of the traditional foods like strukli, and I tried Yoda, the traditional soup. I tried potica and Predjama Castle. I tried a lot of the traditional foods that were actually true to Slovenian, and I had much better reactions on that video. And I think it just goes to show you that Slovenians really care about their culture. The other mistake that I really made was during my day in the life video. The thumbnail looks like this. So again, after this video, you can check that video out. But during that video, I made a huge mistake early on where I showed how Slovenians make their coffee. This was a complete fail on my end because it was, to my understanding, this is how they made coffee. I hadn't seen anyone actually make it, so it was just how I perceived the description of making the coffee. Since then, I have learned to use the jezeva and to boil the water, add the sugar, pull the boiling water off, add the coffee, and then once it starts bubbling up and boiling again, pull the coffee off, let it rest, and then you can have your coffee. I completely botched the process, and you can check that out in the video. I don't want to relive it again, but I'll show you a small clip of that mistake. But I was met with, on both of those videos, I was met with a resounding response that I was completely doing it wrong. This was actually very refreshing for me because it showed me that people actually care about the culture. You know, it wasn't just, he made a mistake, whatever. It was, okay, he made a mistake. It was an honest mistake. So I had so many positive comments, like saying, hey man, you really missed it here, but this is how you make the coffee, or this is what you should try in order to have a traditional Slovenian dish. And so I've been listening, you know. I have been working on my coffee. That video is coming in the future. I've already promised you this. That's just a few examples of how Slovenians love their culture. I think the last thing I'll say is in the main square, a lot of times you'll see musicians playing music. Most of the time it's other Balkan people. It's from people from southern Balkan countries. It's not Slovenians playing Slovenian music in the main square. And a lot of Slovenians really do not like this. And I can understand that, you know. I think the way they think about it is if a tourist were to visit the city and listen to this music, they would think this is Slovenian music. And Slovenian music is much different than South Balkan music. So because of this, Slovenians are a lot more protective of their music. And it just shows how much Slovenians really care about their music, which is a part of their culture. The next thing I want to talk about is that Slovenians love the nature of Slovenia. I mean, it's really hard not to love, right? I visited Krajnska Gora and Jezero Jasna, Lake Jasna, there in Krajnska Gora. And it was absolutely stunning. You know, you're surrounded by the Julian Alps, and it's just these beautiful snow-capped mountains. The scenery is unbelievable. I've done a video on Šmarna Gora, a small hill right outside the city of Ljubljana. You know, I visited Maribor and Murska Sobota. I visited a few places surrounding Ljubljana, and I didn't just stay in the city. So I've gotten to see a bit more of the countryside. And really, why Slovenians absolutely love their country is because it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. In Slovenia, you have the Alps, a beautiful mountain range, one of the best in the world. And then you also have the seaside and places like Koper and Piran. I haven't been to either city yet, but they're on my list. But yeah, Slovenia has everything. You have the beautiful valleys and hills. As you pass through the countryside and you pass through these small villages, you pass through these just amazing, picturesque places. You have beautiful summers, you have snowy winters, you have all the seasons. You have a beautiful fall and a rainy spring. Slovenians love the country of Slovenia because of the nature. It's hard not to. That's a big reason why Slovenians love Slovenia and why they're so sporty. You know, Slovenia is, I think my first day of orientation, they said about 75% of Slovenian people are considered very sporty. And a lot of that has to do with the outside sports. You know, Slovenians are obviously known for skiing and cycling and a lot of major sports that involve the outdoors. From my experience, this makes complete sense. You know, Slovenia is a beautiful country. And so Slovenes love the natural part of Slovenia. The next thing is that Slovenians love when foreigners really try to understand and speak the language. You know, I've been in Slovenia now for just a short time, 3 months, but I've really tried to embrace the language and the culture. In terms of language, I'm slowly learning the correct pronunciation and certain words and so many things. I've really been practicing and trying to get better. Every time I pass a building or I read something that's in Slovene, I really try to sound it out. For me, the best place to start with Slovenian was with the alphabet. I had to start with the alphabet so I could know how to pronounce certain words in order to better understand the language. But Slovenians love the Slovenian language. If you're a foreigner and you visit, you should definitely at least try to speak Slovene. The next thing is that Slovenians are extremely kind. I launched a video that I mentioned earlier, recapping my first month in Slovenia. And I broke down so many different aspects of things about the country that were completely new to me, regarding the culture and just my experience overall. On that video, I received an abundance of positive, thoughtful, and comments, comments encouraging me and supporting me, and also offering so much insight and help. People were giving me tips about certain words, how to speak, certain phrases that I was mispronouncing, and overall we're just insanely friendly. And I think Slovenes are just a very kind people. Every time I go to a restaurant or a shop or the market, or I'm clearly lost, they're willing and able to lend me a kind hand and to really help me with anything that I need. If there's anything else that I missed about Slovenians, or maybe something you want me to touch on, maybe you have a question about, how do I perceive this, or did I try this food yet? Have I visited this city yet? Or what do I think about Slovenes in this way? Just let me know in the comments below. I'm going to address all those. I'm actually going to do this video again at the 6-month mark. So I'm going to I did the 1 month. I'm doing the 3 month now. I'll do the 6 month in the future. And then I'll do the 1 year review of my first year in Slovenia. And so anyways, if you have any questions and you want me to address some of those, I'll be replying to all the comments. But also in the future, I'm going to address these things in a video as well. So please leave your comments below and tell me if I did a good job, bad job, or just to flat out, I missed the mark. Just please let me know. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to end the video by saying thank you so much for such an incredible 2024. I moved 5,000 miles away from home to start this journey. I kind of had this vision of really just showing my whole journey, and everything that's new. And so my original intention was just for my family and friends to keep up with me. And I thought YouTube would be an easy way to do that. But it's grown tremendously, just thanks to you guys tuning in every week and really appreciating the wholesome content. And that's really what I'm trying to show, is just the true, authentic, raw understanding and appreciation for everything that I experienced. In 2025, I have even loftier goals, and I want to visit so many places and have so many new experiences. So that's what we're going to do in 2025. I really hope to interact with you guys a little bit more. I'll be adding a lot of polls into the description section, so make sure you look out for that. It's going to be like, what food should I try next? What city should I visit next? Things like that. But always, please give me your thoughts. I love learning, so give me any tidbits of information that's going to deepen my understanding of the Slovenian culture. Phrases, words, places I should visit, restaurants I should try, especially in the city of Ljubljana. I live there, so I want to try everything. If you have a restaurant that I have to try, please let me know the name of it below. Also, when you include the restaurant, please include the food item that I should try, because it makes it a lot easier for me when I can just go somewhere and say, hey, I want this item because it's amazing. And so anyways, I just want to say thanks again, and cheers. You guys are awesome. Privileged enough to come back and see my family and go even deeper than my last video. We'll move to neighboring countries, Krajnska Gora, mountain cap, these beautiful snow-capped mountains. But that's just a few examples. I moved 5,000 miles. I moved 5,000